Hello, my green skins, and this is another Orc War Chief reviews. This is Barbarian Month, and we're doing the Sword and the Sorcerer. So, Shaningan, give me a little breakdown. What did you think of this one, good sir?
Well, in comparison to Krull, it was a huge step up. It was very entertaining.
Yeah, it's hit and miss for me with this one. It has a lot of interesting ideas, but it also seems to kind of But where Crawl, the funny thing is where you found Crawl hard to study and hard to do stuff. This one was a little more. I found a little all over the place. It's almost like they felt like they wanted to do far more with this movie and they didn't really do. But let's break her down. Okay, first of all, what did you think of the music for this one?
Standard. Nothing makes me want to. Nothing I want to download and listen to over and over again.
Yeah, this is pretty much what a lot of people think is like the basic fantasy adventure music. I would say it has its moments of cool, and how it's done is kind of fun, but it does have its The next one that's actually the next big thing about the music is that it just feels that it could have been a little more, right? Like that doesn't it feel like you could have done a little bit with this one?
Yeah, I think that even though the story, which we'll get to, is not nothing to write home about, but that's not the enjoyment. Enjo-
Yeah.
but that's not what I enjoyed about it. But you gotta like up the other stuff like music. You could have a standard popcorn movie with not much story, but an awesome soundtrack can make all the difference. Can make it way more enjoyable. And this movie did hit some high notes, but I
Yeah.
feel like it could have got they could have done more. Like there's
But yeah,
more.
it's very similar to the Denzel Washington Equalizer movie. The soundtrack was actually decent enough that even though the movie's it was a little mediocre, it still had a good soundtrack. Like what another good well known one is Guardians of the Galaxy 1. That had an amazing soundtrack.
I
That
will.
actually had a really good soundtrack.
I haven't seen it.
And, yeah, and it had a really good soundtrack. But the story was a little it was like it's right around the peak when you knew Marvel was doing that thing. And so it had that moment, but this one has very mediocre music.
Yeah,
The
nothing
next
stands out.
one the next one is the next one we're going to be talking about is the well, what did you think of the filmology of this?
The what?
The film of this, like how the filming. Oh Jesus, hell! I am having a heart attack today. I guess I don't. It's the heat. It has to be the heat. What did you think of the filming of it, like the
Um,
scenes and
I feel like this is um
cinematography? That's what it was. Jesus fuck.
the they clearly it shows they had a budget, but they did their best to make every cent worth it, and I will give them that for it. It's easy to but because it's nice to look at. The
Yeah.
sets and the characters are really cool. You kind of like forget about that.
Yeah.
You do get
So what do you think?
sucked in
Oh, cool.
you do get sucked in. At least I did. So I had to occasionally something odd would stick out. Like that shows that it's kind of a low budget. It feels like an independent movie, although it's an Italian film. Maybe it's an Italian independent movie from the '80s. I think because
It is. I believe it is an Italian film. So there
yeah,
were moments that actually does have that moments of like feeling like it's an Italian film.
yeah, like an Italian film
As
in English. I think that would be independent at the time, at least. Because I can't imagine Italians wanting to make English movies and not go to Hollywood to do it. That's usually the
no,
thing.
they did a lot. The spaghetti western is a good classic of that. So you can't really say that's not something they did. Fantasy movies, they did a lot of stuff. Like there's a lot of like movies that's how that was done.
Well, this is my
Um,
this is my first exposure of a European film, a non-English film made for English-speaking audiences. This is all new to me.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is I know we're going to be getting to cowboy movies later because I'm gonna have to show you the great ones. The Clint Eastwood movies are freaking amazing. So those are something we're going to have to watch. Although they take forever to watch, but they're worth the time. So what did you think of the special effects for this one?
Um, Special effects. Like I said, this is pretty low budget, so some of it does really stick out. But when it's good, it's really good. The puppets, the props, they were very good. It's when they had to go CGI, and remember, this is 80s CGI, so it's not gonna look good. Like,
Yeah.
remember how lightsabers looked back in the day? Like, I can't unsee it now, but they don't illuminate anymore in the old Star Wars. So it's like, oh, now it looks more fake to me now. Now it's not holding up the way it does to other people. Like it's
Yeah, it's a guilty pleasure for me, this movie. So I used to watch this all the time because this was always shown on, I think it was Space or another one when they did Barbarian Month and they did all this type of like fantasy stuff. They showed this all the time. And it made it fun to watch. And so I got a lot of guilty pleasure. This one, this is a lot of really, and this is a nostalgia boner moment for me for this one. I love the special effects in this. They actually, I think they're better than some of the CG stuff we get now, and
yeah,
that this is like money budgets that had like double or triple that. And I feel like the CG in this, the special effects in this, is better than the CG that we have now, and that's saying something.
I might be thinking of particular movies, but don't you feel like when CGI is used today to, like, if they make a sequel to something very old and they use CGI to make it look like something old, it does look better? Did Like, am I the only one noticing this? Granted, I'd still want practical effects, but I'm more convinced when they make the texture and the look of the CGI look like a practical effect, or to look like something that it's resembling from an older film. Like they're really going
Mm,
out of their way to put the imperfections, whereas others see a newer film is going to make everything look too clean, too glossy.
yeah.
Am I making
Yeah,
sense?
I get that. This one's very dirty, and it doesn't help that the version we had, and that this movie. I don't think this movie's ever gotten a remaster or something that actually made it look better.
Yeah, yeah.
So
The
it really does look poor.
This will be something a lot of people will have a problem with this movie if they were to give it a try. There is no HD remaster, and even the version I found, even though it's from a DVD source, it's not very well preserved. It looks very washed out, very grainy.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, it really does,
it's
and
not in good
I,
condition.
yeah, it happens with the older. Some of these movies get left behind, and this is the main reason I wanted to do this one was because of the fact that this is actually a very fun movie, even though it's I wouldn't say it's kid friendly, although it has
Kid
very kid
friendly.
friendly
It's got
moments.
boobs in it.
Yeah, well, I know. That's why I said it's not really kid friendly, but it's got boobs.
Then again, a movie back
It's
in the
very teen
'80s,
friendly.
a PG movie would have boobs in it.
No, you're wrong. A PG-13 movie would have some boobs in it.
No, PG-13 didn't exist back in those days.
Oh, did it not? I'm
No,
certain PG-13 existed after a certain point. Or was that the '90s that the PG-13 kicked out? Anyway,
maybe late
um,
'80s, early '90s.
we're getting off topic here. Let's get back to the acting. What did you think of the acting in this movie?
No, the actors did their best, and they did a good job. They took their role seriously, even though they're in a very cheesy setting.
Oh yeah, yeah. There was a lot of moments where you're like, "Wow, that guy actually acted his heart out." That's the thing I got to say about this movie. This movie doesn't feel like everyone here acted.
Yeah,
Like I feel like not a single person. Yeah, don't you feel that way after watching this?
I just feel like these guys thought to themselves, you know what? We don't have a masterpiece narrative here, but let's give it our best. Let's make something that we can be proud of.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. I absolutely agree, and I think that's actually a great thing about this movie is that it does feel like a properly acted movie, and it does feel like the people actually put their effort in. And that's something I like. That's something I actually find really funny. There are some moments of cheese, though. There are some super moments of cheese. I mean, we can't really get into spoiler territory. Well, we don't really need to. Like, there's like a lot we have to like. I believe Cinema Snob did a review of this. I found out a couple days ago. I didn't even know he did.
Huh.
But this one, yeah, I didn't know about it until recently. It's like, damn it, he beat me to it.
Damn
But yeah, damn you. Oh well.
you.
Um, it's still it's still really good and really well acted. And then we get to the overall story.
Oh yeah, like I said earlier, the story is nothing to write home about. You know, just it's a revenge story basically, and with a bit of damsel in distress going on here.
I would say the story is weird. It's all over the place sometimes. There's moments where it's an revenge story. There's moments there's this. There's more moments there's this. There's these backstories where they're talking about, oh, that's the hero, blah blah blah. And it's like there are moments where they actually I sounded like Dracula, blah blah blah. No. It's just moments where there are moments like, yeah, this could be good. This could be great. This could be, damn it. It just seemed to miss out on key points, right? Like, it almost a great story, and then a story that kind of fell apart at the end. So it's kind of sad that we kind of lose a little bit in this, right?
Yeah, but it
But
does keep a focus on the fact that there is a central villain, and
yeah, there is
there is a main conflict, and maybe there's a B story which is connected to the A story.
a B story. There's a D G E F H I M P story. Like, Jesus fuck, this place goes everywhere. And there are some great moments in this. There are just some amazing moments in this movie.
Oh
And
yes,
there's some,
especially the booby moments.
yes, you and your boobies. Uh,
Boobies, boobies.
well, we've now been demonetized.
Uh oh. God darn it.
Yeah, we
Gosh darn it.
darn it. Yeah, we're now demonetized. All our 43 subscribers are going to be like, oh no, we don't make anything yet, if we ever do. Um, it's funny. It is funny, actually. I do like the story, but the story's all over the place. I wish it was just a little bit more balanced, and I wish we got to see more. Like, there are a lot of things in this movie, the special effects, that you feel like you almost miss out on, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's certain weapons, things, people. There's some cool moments. They just kind of like throw it in there, and then they just like kick it back to the background.
I feel like
It feels. Go ahead.
I feel like some of the enjoyment is hindered, like I said, because the only source available is a poorly preserved copy, and I feel like if someone was to find a master copy and remaster it, it'll look even better and it'll be more pleasant to watch. So a lot of what we may not have thought was great initially will turn out even better because there is lighting issues that a remaster is definitely going to fix.
Yeah, I would have loved to seen this in theaters. Actually, this would have been a movie I would have loved to have seen in theaters back in the day. Too bad I wasn't. I was pretty much 3, I think, when this movie came out. So it's like, damn it, I would have loved to seen this in the theaters though. So what are we going to give this one, Johnny Gunn?
I'm going to give it 6 boobies out of 10.
6 boobies out of 10. I'm going to give it, because it's a little bit of a guilty pleasure. I'm going to give it a 6 as well. I think it 6.1. It's a little bit of a guilty pleasure for me. I do want more people to see this, and I'm hoping that with me and their cinema snob, and I'm probably 50 other people that just that have probably done reviews of this. I think this is going to make something, get a little bit something. Now, here's the biggest question though: how barbarian is this?
At first, it didn't feel very barbarian, but at halfway into the movie, I believe, or if I remember correctly, the barbarian attribute started to present itself more.
So it's half barbarian for you.
Uh,
We're gonna call it a half barbarian,
well, it certainly has barbarian attributes, if not a barbarian movie, because
bitty
it's
barbarian.
either barbarian or it isn't. I would say, I mean, as someone who's new to the whole, who doesn't actively watch barbarian stuff, I would say, yeah, I guess it is. I mean, if you
Well,
like
that's
tough macho guys with swords and fur underwear is
kicking everyone's
barbarian,
ass, and yeah, wearing nothing but in their loincloths, kicking ass. Yeah,
but
there are moments. It is actually a great movie for that. I make the joke, does that make Zardos a barbarian movie? But I won't get into that.
look, the,
Yeah. So that's. Go
if
ahead.
anyone's still not convinced to watch this movie, I remind them, it's got boobies.
Okay, and it's got Shiny Gun's booby of approval. We're gonna have to like get the booby of approval sign to pop up. It's
I
got this. It's got this.
Yes, I will get to work on that. Maybe. I'm lazy.
Have the booby approved stamp appear at the end. It's booby approved.
Booby
Well,
approved.
that's our review. Yeah, that's our review. I hope you enjoyed. If like, sub, share, and definitely share. We want to get up to 100 viewers, 100 subscribers, because then we're gonna do hate month. We need 100 subscribers, people. If we get 100 subscribers, we're gonna do a hate month. We'll do one movie that we both do not want to watch.
Oh God.
Yes, I'm thinking Cuck and Karen. Those are our picks.
Oh God. Cuck and Karen. I
Yes,
even have trouble watching cuck videos or Karen videos.
I know. I can't even watch that. Imagine watching an actual movie on that. I say that if we get to 100 subscribers, we will watch one of those movies. If we get to 1,000 subscribers, we will watch both back to back. And if we get 1,000,000 subscribers, I'll watch. There's a movie out there so bad, so awful that I dare not mention its name.
Yes, it's called Bayformers.
No, no, this makes Bayformers look good.
You
If we
shut
ever
your
get to
mouth.
1,000,000 subscribers, if we ever get to 1,000,000 subscribers, there's a movie out there so craptacular, so awful. I will watch and review it, but I will not watch and review it unless it's that. It's the worst movie I've as of yet ever seen. I've not seen it yet, but I will watch it. We will watch it. So there's our benchmark. All right, so yeah, that's our review. Like I said, like, subscribe, and you have yourselves a very good one. The next one we're going to do is the next one we're thinking of doing is either going to be Dragon Slayer, Beastmaster, or well, we're going to wait for Conan's going to be the last one. So it's Dragon Slayer or Beastmaster. So leave a comment if you want Beastmaster, or if you want Dragon Slayer. All right, guys, have a good one, and I guess we'll talk to you later.
Ciao.